A very good morning. We're glad you're still with us here on Morning at NTV. The hashtag on Twitter is Morning at NTV. Be part of the conversation so that all the policymakers that are watching out there can understand and know what you think about the issues of the day. A very warm welcome to Take Note. We are discussing Tororo Girls School at 57 years. Now, when I say Tororo Girls School, many of those that understand the traditional school system in Uganda are with me. For those that do not, this is one of the traditional and most prestigious schools in the country and is in eastern Uganda. To be very specific, Tororo. Let me just give you a preamble on that. Tororo Girls School, known famously for the acronym TGS, was founded by the United States government in 1965 as a gift to the government of Uganda to promote education of the girl child. Following smooth running of the school and academic excellence, in 1985 the government established the then Uganda College of Commerce within the district as an appendage to TGS. Today TGS is looking at celebrating 57 years of service, and joining me for that discussion, a little bit of nostalgia here for some of the old girls of Tororo Girls School, is Christine Grace Obonyo Chayonka, an alumni, and of course Violet Nandudu, chairperson of the Tororo Girls School Alumni Association, that are going to expound on this. Allow me begin with the chairperson of the Alumni Association. What are we looking at in terms of 57 years of celebration of TGS?
Good morning.
Yes.
Tororo Girls School has been in existence for 57 years and it has produced very prominent ladies of substance. Yeah. We are here to talk about the association, the Tororo Girls Alumni Association. We have over a period of time been involved with the school. Yeah. And what brings us here is to highlight what's taking place at the school. As an association, as old girls. That's right. We are here to give back to the school. We are here to give back to the school what we have benefited from it. Okay. The school has produced very important girls, and the association has been running for over a time, but we are now going to launch it and give back to the school. Our main aim is that the school has grown in numbers. It was constructed to accommodate a few students, but right now it has over 1,000 students. So it has issues of accommodation. That's right. And it is overcrowded. So the old girls have decided that they can do something for the school. We are planning to expand the dormitories so that the school can be comfortable, and as it was during our times. That's right. Because at our times the population was very small. But right now... To be specific, what were those times? Which particular, well, for example, decade? A decade away, yes, in the 90s. Yeah. I was in the school during the 90s. The school accommodated less than 1,000 students. But right now, we have over 1,000 students. So there is a strain on the infrastructure? Due to the UPE. Okay. The UPE has brought in very many students, and now the school infrastructures cannot fully accommodate the students. Okay, that's well, very elaborate. I would like to switch to you. No doubt an OG who should have been there in the 80s, right?
In the 70s. In the
70s. Yes. Okay, there is a significant time frame between you and her. Take us through what is no doubt the initial 2 decades of TGS.
The initial 2 decades of TGS there was luxury. TGS was more or less like a 5-star hotel. That is what it was. Yeah. We used to sit and feed in the dining room, dining table. The initial students had 4-course meals. that is not, it's a dream. And even when you talk to the young girls today, they even can't imagine that that could have happened in that place. As we speak today, the initial dining fell apart. It's one of the buildings that came down because of the, I think the quarry, the stone quarry in Tororo, which kept blasting and has affected significantly most of the buildings there, to the extent that some of the dormitories have been condemned and new ones are being set up.
That's right.
But they are still not significant. Life was very good. I mean, we had an English lab, for instance, where we learned English and the pronunciations could be given to us in an English lab. That can't happen now with the kind of crowds, because the English lab remained one and the same. It was meant to accommodate maximum of 40 students. But because now the population has gone to over 1,000 that my sister here has said, that now can't be done. So definitely then it means that the quality of the teaching ends up coming down, because there is not as much care that is able to be given to each learner for them to listen to the phonetics using those gadgets in the English lab.
Okay.
And the same applies to all other facilities. I mean, talk about the home economics. There can only be so many cookers or units in the home economics lab. It hasn't expanded. So that also now restricts the number of students who can get in there, or even the quality of the hands-on expertise that they can acquire as they go into that. And this goes across to everything else. It was a small school, it was a smaller community. Of course, we each knew each other much more than I think the girls now know, because in that crowd, everybody is now striving for their space.
That's right.
And I think even the teachers must be constrained, because you can imagine if you're a teacher and you have so many scripts to mark every day, it becomes a bit of a challenge. And yet government can't automatically just go and raise numbers of teachers because the student population has gone high.
Okay.
So all those are things that come in and make life today different from what it was in our times and before us.
All right, very good initiative there that you're up to ensure that some of these improvements are made. I'm particularly interested, or rather impressed, by the fact that there was an English lab where aspects like phonetics were, of course, inculcated into some of the students. I do hope schools can, of course, copy that, but most importantly that you can reinvigorate that initiative as you go forward. Chairperson, what are the numbers right now in terms of the alumni who have come on board and would like to be part of this particular initiative? Are we talking about a reserved lot out there that perhaps is afraid to be identified as TGAs, or we have these overly enthusiastic people who are going to cause the kind of transformation you're looking at?
At the moment, the association has been operating for the last 10 years.
10 years.
But and has done a lot of activities for the school. One of the activities was construction of the tanks, water tanks for the girls, when we realized that there was a problem of crowding. During the celebrations, the silver celebrations, the association was able to buy tanks for the students. And the association also on annual basis goes to school and carries out the career day exhibitions and tells the girls what they can be in future. So in terms of numbers, we have over 500 active students. But the school has been in operation for over 57 years. And we know we can be more than that.
That's right.
And we can do much better than that. And that is the bell we are ringing over to all the rest, the old students, the parents, that this school, which was the gold of the Eastern region, can still shine. Okay,
do you have, for example, a tag that you have put on the nature of contributions that you want to be able to achieve many of the aspirations that you're setting out to? For example, how many millions are you looking at if it's a fundraising? What particular infrastructure do you need first before you can go into another? What time frame are you looking at?
The time frame you're looking at?
To be able to do all that, including if it is fundraising, how much are you looking at? For example, are you going to say we want 1 billion shillings so that we can achieve what we want? Or are you looking at, well, anybody can come in anytime, whatever they have?
The budget is for 80 billion. Because the dormitories...
8 billion?
80.
80 billion.
Yes.
Wow.
The dormitories storage dormitories that we used to live in. And the school had already started on the foundation of the dormitories, but it is moving slowly. So the girls want to come in to be able to complete that. So we are launching out this association on the 23rd this month. It's an invite basis.
Invite only.
Yes, invite only.
How about me?
But could I just add on something to what Violet has said? The 80 billion we are talking about looks like a humongous amount of money, but the construction materials used for building Tororo Girls, and I think this goes for Busitema University. They are huge slabs that were used, concrete slabs.
I don't see them being used these days. I doubt how that's going to be achieved.
Now, we have to remove them. The cost of actually removing those slabs, and probably because they are intertwined with a lot of metal. So that is a very expensive project to do, because the buildings are already, the condemned buildings already occupy land, and yet that space is needed. So even removing that debris is going to be very costly, and it has to be done safely, because if one goes there, unfortunately we didn't get the pictures, but if one goes there, some of the buildings are already crooked, one of them has sunk. The dormitory that I lived in for all my 6 years, because later as a prefect I had to oversee the younger girls.
That's right.
It's totally condemned, so nobody lives in it. So that adds to the cost. So sometimes somebody might look at it and think, why 80 billion? What are you going to do with it? It's because that component comes into as well.
No doubt. What I know is that out there, and the people that are watching who hold significant positions in government are, of course, old girls of Tororo Girls School. That is no doubt something that's going to be achieved. As we enter the final bend of this, could you tell us where exactly the celebrations will be? Is it at the school, or you start with one aspect or event in Kampala and then you go to Tororo?
We are starting with an event in Kampala on the 23rd September at the Golf Course Hotel from 3 to 6 o'clock. We have invited all the former head teachers of the school. They'll be present with us in this launch. And we've invited, our guest of honor is the Honorable Deputy Prime Minister, Honorable Kadaga. She's going to be with us.
Is she an old girl?
No, she's not.
She isn't. Okay. All right. I think you say 23rd September at the Golf Course Hotel. Yeah, this is very near here. Now, the big question, I'm sure there are guys out there, TCs and Njasi's, who are watching. Who are you going to give the official invite to come and be part? Because the rivalry is there, Manjasi and Tororo College. How are you going to play that?
They are all our brothers.
They're all brothers.
We love them. I mean, they had issues. They had issues of thinking that TCs were more privileged to be with us. But that was a bit about the rowdiness of the Manjasis and that kind of stuff. Yes, so we've invited a couple of them to just come and represent, because when TC was when they are dealing with their programs, they do invite us, they've involved us, and the rivalry aside, we just look at ourselves as the people from the East, and wisdom comes from the wise men of the East. So we work together in this. We need to support one another, because as mothers, we are as women of Tororo Girls, we are mothers of sons from TC and Manjasi. So there's no bad blood between us anymore. No
doubt about that. Ladies, many thanks. Christine Grace Obonyo Chayonka, TGS alumni, and of course Violet Nandudu, chairperson of the Tororo Girls School alumni, on those events that are in the run-up to the 23rd. Me, by association, Buked College Kachonga was somewhere nearby there, and we used to do a bit of a few seminars. I hope I can also get a special invite. That's it for Tech Note. Kickstarter is up next with Priscilla, Regina, and Alonga. Do stay with us.